Prestige Yachts are the world leader when it comes to flybridge motor cruisers. Building vessels from 40 up to 80 feet, there are a number of different hull designs, cabin layouts and configurations available throughout the range. I'm here today on board a Prestige 420F, and this is quite a special vessel for us, having been brought in specifically for the Sanctuary Cove and the Sydney boat shows this year. This vessel will be available to purchase once the shows are complete midway through 2024. My name is Joe Fox from the team at TMG Yachts. Let's take a look through this brand new Prestige 420F to see what's in store for you ahead of the boat show season this year. Let's take a look now through what this particular vessel has to offer. It really does pack a lot of punch for a vessel measuring 42 feet. We've got very spacious living area, very clever design and amazing cabins and configurable cabins as well. On the stern we have a massive aft platform, perfect for swimming straight off the back and entertaining. Inside the wet bar itself we have a Kenyan electric grill as well as a sink and a bit of prep space. So this is a really great place for entertaining. You've got direct access into the cockpit just forward. Also, all the smells and all the smoke goes off the back of the boat. Moving forward, we come into the very social cockpit. First thing I notice here is the stern gate, so we can close this off, making it safe for children or dogs or animals. The aft cockpit is very spacious, making use of the full 4.2 meter beam. It really is a huge area for entertaining. The couch on the stern here is very comfortable, really nice angle on the backrest here, so perfect space for sitting with your friends, entertaining, with direct access to the wet bar and the barbecue as well as the galley, which is a little bit further forward. Underneath where I'm sitting here, there is a large storage hatch, just accessed under the cushion here. This can also be accessed from the swim platform, so toy storage, sea bobs, sea scooters, paddleboards, all that kind of thing can be right in there, right where you need it when you're having fun on board. Access to the engine room is right underneath my feet here. Moving into the saloon, we step straight into the galley on the port side here. It's a well-equipped galley. There is an electric oven, a ceramic cooktop here, as well as very large refrigeration space. It's a well-equipped galley and it's very well connected with the entertaining zone. So that large area in the aft cockpit that we discussed, as well as having good access to the dining table, which is located in the saloon. Underneath my feet here is also a second access hatch for the engine room. So this is great for letting lots of natural light in if you have mechanics working in there. There are lights, powered lights in there for visibility, but also access in here to the generator, which when you're not connected to shore power is responsible for running the air conditioning and your 240 volt systems. I'll just point out a number of soft furnishings and features which really bring this vessel up to another level. In the galley here we have this beautiful stone finish. All the railings are wrapped in a beautiful leather that perfectly complements the internal wood finish of the vessel as well. This particular vessel has had an upholstery upgrade, so just adding an extra level of comfort when you're hanging out inside the boat. The interior is also complemented by very tasteful indirect lighting as well as LED strip lighting in the ceiling. Just forward of the galley to port, we have the internal lounging and dining area. This is a very comfortable area, again with that upholstery that I just mentioned. One thing I noticed is the seats are very deep, very comfortable, a nice angle on the backrests. Plenty of natural light with the full ceiling to deck level windows here, and privacy blinds that do come all the way down if you are in here at night to give you a bit of added privacy. This table at the moment is in kind of coffee table configuration. It does double in size and it lowers and raises as well. So you can leave it this size, lower it down, and it's a bit of a coffee table, easy to move around. You can have it at full height and rotate like so, opening up to give you quite a large dining table. In this configuration, the table can go all the way down and you get an infill cushion to go on top of the table, giving you another berth here, so total sleeping capacity for 6 people on board. For a little bit of versatility in this area, there is a removable stool down the aft end of the table here, which can come out into the main passageway here to give seating on this side and easier access down the aft end of the table. Just behind the helm station, there is a two-seater couch. 3 people would sit there nicely, but yeah, very comfortable with 2 people, making the saloon a nice social area. The dining area in the saloon is seamlessly integrated with the helm station that we have down here. We have 2 helm stations on board. The main helm down here where you would get the boat going from. This is where a lot of your switches are. This is where you probably turn the engines on at the beginning of your trip. We also have a flybridge helm station, which we'll go through shortly. Sitting here, the first thing I notice is that the floor connecting the saloon lounging area with the helm station is on one level, so it doesn't feel like I'm in a separate part of the boat. It feels very connected, so you can be sitting here, certainly being part of the social experience of having your friends and your family on board. The helm station itself is quite comfortable. There's a footrest here. My feet can just about touch the floor. But nice to have a footrest. Very comfortable, nicely stitched leather helm seat here and very good visibility. So I'm about 6 foot, and looking out of the windows here, I've got very clear, uninterrupted view all the way back to the back of the saloon. So I certainly don't feel like I've got too many or any blind spots sitting in this position. We've got a 12-inch Garmin display here, as well as a second one on the flybridge, and there is space for a second one here, should I want it. All my operating switches, windscreen wipers, horn, bilge pumps and anchor control is here. Trim tabs control with a chain counter as well, so I can see how much chain I'm dropping. And down the right hand side or starboard side, I've got my helm controls here with the bow thruster and the joystick, which we'll talk through a little bit later on. On either side of the saloon, there are 2 opening portholes, just like so on either side. This boat is fully air conditioned as well, so on a day like today it is pretty hot, so if you're on anchor you might just have the generator on. It's nice and quiet, keeping the internals of the boat to a nice ambient temperature. Let's head down into the cabins now and take a look at some of the accommodation, which I think on a vessel of this size is some of the best in class. Down in the forward cabin we have a beautiful V-berth, lovely hull windows letting in plenty of natural light, and good space here for manoeuvring around the berth. Plenty of storage down either side. There's a clever split system door here, so you close one side and close the other, and that's a really good way to make advantage of the space. It means we don't have the full length door coming off here. It makes the door a lot more streamlined working with this cabin and the size that it is. Another really clever space saving technique, if you are of the taller stature, this bed here does expand, and there is a filler piece just here that actually goes in there. So I'd say if you're over about 5'8", you'll want to use this filler piece, which does take up a little bit more space, but it does give you a very nice length berth there. Again, around the cabin here, plenty of natural light, some really nice indirect lighting, the LED strip lighting in the roof, as well as a nice mirror here with a hanging wardrobe. All the cabins also come fitted with power points next to the bed, as well as hardwired USB sockets for charging your devices. So really, when there are 2 couples or 4 people on board, each cabin does have its own ensuite bathroom. But during the day, this head here, which is obviously part of the VIP cabin up the bow, has day head access, so if you have guests on board, they don't need to come into your cabin to use the amenities. This is a very nicely fitted out bathroom, or head as we call it on a boat. Lots of nicely finished corian, a beautiful, looks like freestanding basin there, very nicely finished, along with a separated shower compartments that separates with a glass screen, and the toilet is in there also. Full standing headroom in the shower, as well as plenty of natural light coming in from the porthole there, as well as ventilation. So the access to the master cabin is located to port as we come down the companionway steps. Immediately on your right hand side, further to port, you have access into the ensuite head and bathroom, which is located in the master cabin. This is a slightly different layout to the other side, which is the VIP or the day head. This has a fully separated shower compartment with a toilet area, so it's a little bit larger. The fit and the finish is exactly the same, lots of polished stainless steel, a beautiful basin and that corian worktop, as well as the duck boards in the shower makes for a very inviting atmosphere. The master or primary cabin is really where this vessel comes into its own and really where you notice the volume in that 4.2 meter beam. I'm sitting here on the bed, lovely spacious bed, quite nice and low, so we really feel like we're in the belly of the boat, although either side we have two very large hull windows, so we could turn all these lights off and it would still feel very light and airy, not claustrophobic. It doesn't feel like you're in the belly of the boat at all. Just in front of me here we have a very clever, again, space-saving solution, but a good storage setup, as well as down both sides of the cabin, plenty of storage like so. I think the most amazing thing to point out here is the fact that we have a full beam master on a 42-foot vessel. It's normally something that we see reserved for the bigger vessels, you know, the 460 or even, you know, into the 50-foot models. So it's very quite innovative the way they've fitted so much and such a good cabin into just a 42-foot hull. Back on the quality and the design of the Prestige fit out, we have lovely suede leatherette finishings here, lovely hidden lighting, suede on the wall paneling. It really just gives the boat a very luxurious feel. It really feels like you're in a very comfortable hotel rather than a boat. So having looked through the inside of the vessel, let's take a look up on the bow and then lastly at the flybridge. Making my way up to the bow, the first thing to point out is that the cabin is centrally mounted, so the access on both sides is the same width. Moving up to the bow, the rail is at a good height all the way along, and then the bow is an incredibly spacious area. Prestige Yachts have a signature look where they bring the beam of the boat quite far forward, making great volume in the cabin downstairs, but then also giving you really ample deck space on the bow. The main feature of this bow area is the configurable sun lounger here, so ample sun lounging for up to 3 people, and articulating backrests on section dovers as well to make it very comfortable forward facing, underway at low speed or on anchor. Talking of anchoring, the working deck is up here at the bow. We've got a Lumar anchor winch and a very nice stainless steel anchor mounted on the front. This can be controlled from a remote control in the deck hatch here, at the helm station inside, or from the flybridge, which is where we're going to head next. Coming up to the flybridge, the access is very large, good handrails on the staircase coming up to the flybridge, and up here it really is quite large. You know, I've been on other kind of 45, 46 foot vessels, and I'd say this competes in terms of area and volume. At the aft end here, we have a dining table. Lovely L-shaped bench here. This is actually a very nice space to sit. It's about midday here in Queensland. I'm under the canvas bimini here, nicely in the shade, and I've got an excellent view. Plenty of space, I'd say, easily 4 people sitting around here. Then if you had a foldable deck chair, you could have a 5th here as well. Just forward of the dining area is a small but very ample wet bar. Inside it has a fridge, and there is a small sink and another Kenyan grill. So if you're having a barbecue on board up here, you don't need to be trekking all the way down to the back of the boat to cook your sausages. Moving forward of the dining area and the wet bar, to starboard there is a lounging area, which is nice because if you're driving the vessel, you can have family and friends sitting with you. Again, articulated backrests here, which come up to make it a very comfortable area to sit facing forwards when you're underway. There's a good view of everything around. The helm seat itself is a single seat. It does have a bolster, so you can sit a little bit higher and perch up if you like. Or if you want to be a little bit more protected, a little bit lower to the windscreen that we have at the front, you put the bolster down and you're sitting at a nice low level. The flybridge helm station in front of me does have everything I need when operating the vessel up here. A nice height steering wheel, it's not too low, my knees aren't getting in the way. Again, a 12-inch Garmin plotter here with all my navigation and my charts installed. I've got 2 engine readouts here, so they're giving me the RPM and the temperatures. Any alarms for the engine will come up on here or on these 2 engine controls here. My twin throttles are here, and just on the outside of them I have the Cummins joystick system. Now this operates much like a Volvo IPS system in the way that you can control the boat in a directional way using the direction of the joystick. This links in with the bow thruster. So we're a shaft drive boat. We've got two 420 horsepower Cummins engines connected to a shaft drive in a semi-tunnel drive system at the back. So the prop shafts and the propellers are actually cut into the hull of the boat, giving a lot of directional thrust directly out the back, which is exactly where we want it. The shaft drives are obviously integrated into this system with the use of the joystick and the bow thruster, like I mentioned. So if I want to move the boat to port or to left, I push the joystick to the left and it puts one engine in reverse, one engine in forwards, which moves the stern of the boat to the left, and then also the bow thruster moves the bow to the left or to port. So quite easily I can control all three of the main drive systems, two engines and a bow thruster, with one joystick control. So for beginners or for people looking for a really easy to maneuver vessel, this is a very great system with single touch maneuvering. We do have one of these downstairs at the main helm station as well. Also located at the helm station is the VHF radio just here, and the trim tabs, as well as all the running lights and switches that we might need. Above your head when you're on the flybridge, giving you ever important sun protection, is this canvas bimini. It is nice and secure, it's nicely finished, it gives you large coverage, so really all the way to the back of the seating and then all the way to the front of the helm station. So I'd say about 90% of the flybridge is covered by this, and it does have integrated lighting as well. Prestige Yachts really is a brand on the rise here in Australia, and here at TMG Yachts we are proud to be partnered with one of the leading boat manufacturers in the world from the biggest boat manufacturing group. Come and see us at the boat shows this season and particularly get on board this very boat to see if it might work for you. My name is Joe Fox from the team at TMG Yachts. Thank you for watching this walkthrough of the Prestige 420F. If you did enjoy this video, do like and subscribe to be updated with more powerboat and prestige related content in the future.